traffic.
Slow traffic. That's right. We're stuck in traffic on our way to get the supercharger installed. I'm a little bummed. This has taken forever, this whole process, and now I'm sitting in traffic waiting to get to the shop. So, hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to introduce the 4Runner and tell you what was going on with the supercharger install. So I'm actually on my way to get it installed right now. Pretty excited about that, and just wanted to let you know what the process was like to go through on that. So the supercharger was on back order from Magnuson, and it took me about 3 to 4 weeks to get the supercharger ordered. Once the supercharger was ordered, it took another 3 weeks to get the supercharger into the speed shop where I'm getting the installation done. So the supercharger is in stock now. I've coordinated a time with the shop to do the installation, and I'm on my way there now. And so they'll have the 4Runner for 3 to 4 days, depending on when they can get to it. They said it's a 2 to 3 day thing for them. We are going to try and get dyno numbers before and after the installation, so I hope that works out. And I'm excited to have the speed shop do the work because they are a certified Magnuson reseller and installer, and so I should be able to get the 36,000 mile warranty that comes from Magnuson and not void any warranties from Toyota. So right now the 4Runner has about 26,400 miles on it, and that means I've got about 10,000 miles left on the Toyota warranty, and hopefully not voiding any of those warranties, like I said. So on my way out there now. I appreciate you guys coming along with me. Unfortunately, I can't film any of the installation because I have to go be at work, and they're doing this installation over multiple days. I just couldn't take the time off. So but just go through the process with me. So far right now we're at about 7 weeks since I started the process. So 7 weeks since I made all the original phone calls and tried to get the installation done. So we're scheduled for this week, and so I'll be driving a rental car this week, which is a little bit of a bummer. But by Friday, hopefully we're back in the TRD 4Runner, and we are checking out what it's like to drive with the Magnuson Supercharger. And I'm really hoping to get somewhere between 50 and 75 horsepower. That might be a little ambitious, I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping for. And so hopefully the dyno numbers will show that, and we'll see what we wind up with. But thanks for coming with me on the ride, taking you along the journey with me. So thanks for joining me. Thanks. What is up, guys? It's finally done. The supercharger in the 4Runner. It's been in for a couple weeks now, and I haven't been able to film because I've been insanely sick. So the entire process took about 2.5 days. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have even gotten a rental car. I just would have took a couple days off work. But they thought it was going to take a week, and they had a really easy time with it. They contacted Magnuson to get a good tune for the truck. And to be honest with you, I may think that the tune that they installed in the truck has done more for the truck than the supercharger has. I don't really hear the supercharger kicking in unless I really stomp on the gas pedal. But what I'm noticing is that just in general, the truck is way more responsive off the line from a red light or dead stop. Feels like it's supposed to. It kind of puts you back in your seat a little. It just feels better. It feels like it should. It drives like it should. And that's the only way I can tell you it feels like. It always felt sluggish to me and slow. And I'm happier now with it than I've ever been. I don't think I would ever get rid of it now unless I had some major catastrophe with it. So hey guys, it's finally happened. Here we are driving the supercharged 4Runner. And I had a little buyer's remorse at first. And I guess that's to be expected when you spend that amount of money on a vehicle that's pretty new. But I think it's done wonders for the response of the throttle and just the overall feel when driving the vehicle. It just feels like a different car. It didn't change anything that drastically with the gas mileage. It just feels like I think the 4Runner should feel when you buy it. It's a shame that Toyota doesn't offer this supercharger as a factory option, because I don't know why you wouldn't. You know, they said when they did the install that they didn't get any check engine lights, they didn't have any errors, they didn't have to clear any codes out of the truck. So let's go here now, and we're going to do a full throttle here on this road. As soon as I make this turn, I'm going to punch it, and you guys see what the throttle response is like here. All right, I'm going to try and get the camera here. Here we go. I mean, that's awesome. That is awesome right there. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Oh, and of course, there's a cop right there. I better slow down. Jeez, man. I'll get myself in trouble. So, for the most part, nothing drastically changed with the way anything else works. So, air conditioning still works. Heat still works. My remote start still works. Nothing like that was affected. And when we did the installation, we wound up doing a little bit of a, I guess you would call it a conservative tune on the 4Runner. This is my daily driver, and I don't want to be racing it or anything. You know, I didn't want 120 horsepower out of this, and they could have gotten that. They could have put a smaller pulley, increased the boost, and gotten me a lot more throttle response and whatnot, but I don't think that was really necessary. That wasn't what I wanted. What I wanted was to be able to overtake, especially on the mountain roads, be able to overtake and be able to pull out into traffic and be able to get on an on-ramp and just feel like I was getting the throttle response, you know, just know that that was there for me. And with the previous, you know, the factory tune and factory setup, that just wasn't there for me. I mean, the truck also is a lot quieter. With the factory tune in it, I felt like it made a lot of noise, and I think that was just the airbox just sucking in air and just not doing anything. I mean, the throttle would go down, and you'd have to press the throttle 3/4 of the way to the floor before you felt any kind of get up and go, and it wasn't even that much. It wasn't that great, right? I mean, if you've got a stock 4Runner, you know, it's a little bit of a dog. But with the supercharger installed, even with a conservative tune and a medium-sized pulley, it's done wonders for it. It drives like it should. And you can hear I'm driving it right now. It doesn't sound any different. It doesn't feel any different. I'll shut up for a second. I'm going 45 miles an hour. I'm in a little bit of traffic here. I thought this road would be empty, and of course, there's a lot of Sunday drivers out here. But for the most part, nothing else has changed. When I step on the gas, I have instantaneous response. The truck pulls, I feel it pull, and it feels good. And I like that feeling. And at first, I wasn't sure if the money spent was worth it. So here you can see the DynoJet sheet that I was provided by the Speed Shop, and you can see that we started out with 218.53 horsepower. And after the supercharger install, we were up to 287.51. That's 69 horsepower gain. And the torque went from 233.11 up to 281.6. So let me go over what didn't change. So I still have the factory exhaust. I still have the factory airbox. And I've been told not to change those things. This was designed... Wow. This was designed to work with the factory components. And when you swap out those components, you make some changes, and even though they might not be drastic, they can affect the performance of the supercharger. And the other thing that they told me is, when I take my vehicle in to get it serviced now, I have to make sure that they know that oh, there's something going on here. I have to make sure that they know that there's a custom tune installed on this vehicle, because they could do a factory update. There might be, you know, a Toyota updated tune, and they would wipe out my my custom tune that's been installed for the Magnuson. So it's just letting them know ahead of time when I take it in for oil changes or I take it in for service, just making sure the rep knows that, and then maybe even leaving a note in the vehicle, I guess. I don't know. Just on the seat or taped to the dash, just like, hey, don't update the ECU, please, because you're going to ruin my my custom tune, and then I'm going to have to take it back and get it redone. And, you know, I'm sure the truck will still drive. It just won't drive that well, right? So that's where we're at with that. We actually have a red light here, so we're going to do another from a dead stop this time. I'll try and keep this camera steady. We're on a straight road here. Way, so we should be good. And we're forward. We're doing 60 pretty dang quick. And now you can hear that there's not that air sucking sound that you had before, that really loud engine noise. And now we're just cruising it along at 55 miles an hour. Foot is barely on the pedal. And just feels comfortable, man. It feels good to know when I get that instant throttle response. So I'm going to share with you the gas mileage now. So we see here we have basically 142 miles on the truck. And the computer's showing 17.5 miles per gallon, which seems a little generous. So let's check at the pump here and see where we're actually at here. So we're at 8.06 gallons. So we're just going to call that 8. We'll just do some simple math here real quick. And we'll do a 142 divided by 8. And what do we come up with? 17.53. So the computer is spot on, which is surprising since I have the KO2s on there. So you can see here on the outside of the truck that there's no signs that the supercharger's been installed at all. Unless you can spot the cooler on the inside of the grill there. Let's take a peek under the hood, and I'll show you guys the actual installation of the Magnuson Supercharger. And there it is. So it looks great, I think. And there on the left-hand side, you see the connection to the factory airbox and the pulley system there on the right. As I mentioned, I am getting about 15 to 16 miles per gallon around town, and I'm currently getting 17 to 18 on the highway, which I think isn't too bad, considering I'm still putting my foot into it a little bit there, here and there, especially getting on the highway and the on-ramp. It feels really good to put your foot down and get thrown back in the seat a little. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the time that you spent watching the video, and let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and I'm just going to wrap things up there. So thank you.